Hey folks, I'm Tennessee Brando with the MeidasTouch Network. So podcaster Joe Rogan was brutally fact-checked on his own show. He was talking with MMA fighter Bo Nickel, and they were talking about how Joe Biden is in decline. Joe Biden can't complete a sentence. Joe Biden doesn't know where he is. Joe Biden's always falling down. The same old tired talking points that we're all so sick and tired of hearing from MAGA. But then they start talking and they say, oh, did you hear about when he was talking about airports and the Revolutionary War? Did you hear him say that? Well, you guys know exactly where this is going, so go ahead and roll the clip, and then we're going to come back and we're going to pick it apart.
Well, you know, there's people that voted for Biden that are doing it now. They're like, what did I do?
Right.
Like, what did I choose? Like, how is this guy?
Yeah, you just can't listen to an interview or he's saying some of the stuff he says that just makes no sense at all. It's like you can't listen to those interviews and feel like you made a good decision. I don't know how you could.
Did you hear what he said like yesterday or a couple of days ago? He was talking about the Revolutionary War. He's like, one of the reasons why we lost the Revolutionary War, one of the problems with the Revolutionary War was they didn't have enough airports. Yeah. Have you seen that?
I saw that. It's like, what the hell?
Like, pull him.
It's crazy.
If you had any other job and you were talking like that,
yeah,
they would go, hey, you're done.
A few moments later.
The same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports. Whoa.
So,
yeah, that's it.
Whoa.
What?
Just for the record.
Is that fake?
It's not fake, but he was referencing Trump saying that. Here's what Trump saying it in 2019.
Oh.
Donald Trump said something about that. And he didn't say Jesus. He said a stable genius, and that's where the transcription.
Let me hear what it says. What did he say?
In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he fucked up.
Yeah, he did. But I feel like that's you can tell too. It sounds like a little different. He's like, you can tell he like messed up his words, but yeah. He's just, I don't know.
Took over the airports.
Well, that's the thing about media these days. It's like
right.
You got to look into it.
So yeah, that was Donald Trump said that, not Joe Biden. But notice how quickly they shifted gears. When they thought Joe Biden said it, oh, he's mentally done. He's done. Someone needs to just come and lead him away. That's how you know your career's over. That's how you know you no longer need a job. Just take him away. But then when they find out it was actually Donald Trump that said it, and they play Donald Trump saying it, oh, well, I mean, you could tell he misspoke. I mean, he didn't really mean that. He knows better than that. That is why I'm so sick of this double standard coming from MAGA. I'm so sick of that because they constantly talk about Joe Biden's in decline. Joe Biden can't remember a sentence. Joe Biden falls down. They always point to those things. And they will sit there and they will hook together a reel and they will make it look as though he's stuttering constantly and can't remember what he's going to say. And there's people out there that buys into that bullshit because they sit and listen to people like Joe Rogan continue to push it. They've got nothing else to criticize Joe Biden on. So they have to pull out, if it's not Hunter Biden, it's that he can't remember where he is. And I don't understand. Can someone explain this to me? How can Joe Biden not be able to complete a sentence, not know where he is, trip and fall down all the time, and yet at the same time, he's this mastermind behind everything that's going on? You cannot make it make sense in MAGA's world. Don't even try. But this isn't the first time that Joe Rogan has been fact-checked on his own platform. This happened before. Back when he was spreading misinformation about the vaccine, he got fact-checked when he was saying that myocarditis, that the vaccine causes myocarditis. Check out this clip before he got fact-checked, and we're going to talk more about this.
I don't think it's true that there's an increased risk of myocarditis from people catching COVID that are young versus increased risk of myocarditis from the vaccine.
No, there is. There's both.
Well, let's look that up because I don't think that's true. 12 to 17 more likely to develop myocarditis within 3 months of catching COVID at a rate of 450 cases per million infection. This compares to 67 cases of myocarditis per million at the same time following their second dose of Pfizer.
Yeah, so you're about 8 times likelier to get myocarditis from getting COVID than from getting the vaccine.
That's interesting.
Now,
that is not what I've read before. But also, it's like, even when we're reading these things, it's like, what are we getting this from?
I love how confident that he was. Like, yeah, pull that up. I'm going to show you. And then his own show pulls it up. And once again, he's fact-checked to his face. But what does he do? Does he say, hey, hold on a minute, I was wrong? No. He says, well, that's not what I read before. And it makes you wonder where these people get their information. And that right there is what is exactly wrong with this country. So many people, when confronted with evidence, so many people, when confronted with facts, will move the goalpost. And will say, yeah, well, I don't believe that because that's not what I read before. And who's really saying that to us? And they begin to question things. And they begin to do so because of platforms like Joe Rogan, who continues to push this kind of misinformation and this kind of bullshit out into the world. It creates this illusion that there's a both sides argument when there's not. And I'm sure Joe Rogan will say things like, oh, well, a lot of people believe in this stuff. There's a lot of people believe in it. Just because a lot of people believe in something does not make it true. But the likes of Joe Rogan, they always move the goalposts and they never accept any responsibility or take any accountability for what they said. And that's why I can no longer watch Joe Rogan. There was a time that I watched his show. I wasn't like a fan that watched every single episode, but if he had someone on there who I found interesting, if it was a favorite actor from my childhood or favorite musician, I would tune in to see it. I was a big fan of Dan Aykroyd growing up. So when Dan Aykroyd went on his show, I watched it. I'm a big pro wrestling fan, so when he had Jake the Snake and The Undertaker on, I watched it. But once he started pushing this misinformation and never backing up and saying, oh, wait a minute, I was saying something wrong. Let's not continue to push this out into the world. And when he started turning over his platform to conspiracy theorists who continued to push bullshit and help create this narrative of a both sides argument, I could no longer get behind it. And that's because that's what reasonable people do. People that aren't in a cult will hold people they're listening to accountable. And we will say, you know what? I might have liked what you were saying before, but you just badly went off script here. I would have way more respect for Joe Rogan if he could have said, hey, you know what? I got that wrong, and I'm going to remove the parts of the episode where I said it before, and I'm going to make sure that I say every day what is factually true. And I would have much more respect for him if when he had been showed that clip that it was actually Donald Trump that said that, he should have had the same energy towards Donald Trump as he had toward Biden. According to him, Biden was done. His career was over. It was time to lead him away. But when it was Trump saying it, well, we know he misspoke. And that's the problem that I have with the likes of Joe Rogan, and that's why that I can't tune in even if he does have my favorite actor on there. Even if he does have my favorite singer, I can't watch anymore because I can't contribute to someone pushing that type of propaganda. And no one should. We say here at the MeidasTouch Network that truth is golden. That's because it's true. Truth is golden, and we have to keep it at the forefront. And sometimes the truth is uncomfortable to face. There are certain times we're going to be faced with things that are true that we're going to go, damn, I really wish that wasn't true. I can tell you that if I was standing at a Joe Biden rally, if I was listening to Joe Biden talk, and he started going badly off script, and he started badly jumping the shark, I would go, wait a minute, I can't get behind this. And I know for a fact when I turned it on to the MeidasTouch Network that they would be saying, wait a minute, Joe Biden has jumped the shark. Joe Biden has said something that is completely wrong. We would call it out. And that's what separates us from them. And that's why I am proud to be part of this network. But folks, keep hitting that subscribe button here on MeidasTouch and keep pushing the truth out there for people to hear, because we live in a world where everybody's got a microphone, everybody's talking really loud, and people will sometimes choose to believe in things just because it makes them feel comfortable. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to tell you the truth because the truth is golden. So until next time, I'm Tennessee Brando. You guys keep tuning in. We'll keep telling you the truth.
Thanks so much for watching. We're only a few subscribers short of 2 million subs. Please subscribe right now to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel for free and help us grow this unapologetically pro-democracy network.